Hi, Dad. Does Medicare cover foreign travel?
If we're just talking about baseline Medicare, so just Part A and Part B, in this case, coverage in a foreign hospital is extremely limited. And you only get coverage at all in these special circumstances. But, and there's always a but, if you have a Medigap plan or a Medicare Advantage plan, then you may have access to additional coverage in the event of foreign travel. But let's focus. Let's look at the Medigap plans first. Let's assume that you enrolled in Original Medicare. So you're on Original Medicare with a Medigap plan. Of course, you're on the Medigap plan. You purchased that plan to provide some protection, a backstop against financial risk or catastrophic financial risk, because the Medigap plan can cover copays, coinsurance, the Part A deductible, and because there's no maximum out-of-pocket limit for Medicare, the Medigap plan helps protect against that catastrophic financial risk, right? It kind of covers that baseline Medicare coverage that you have. Well, one of the things that Medigap plans also have, many of them, is they give you protection, they give you coverage if you are traveling internationally, help you with that medical coverage of foreign travel. As you can see, many of these plans offer that coverage. And which plans do? Well, that would be C, D, F, G, M, and N. All of these plans, remember, these plans are standardized. So if you get this plan from one insurer or another insurer, they're all going to have this protection. They're all going to have this coverage. So these plans, all of these plans provide foreign travel emergency coverage. Now the plan will pay 80% of covered services after your deductible is paid. And there's a lifetime limit of $50,000. That's not an annual limit. That is a lifetime limit of $50,000. Also, the Medigap plan will only pay for emergencies within your first 60 days of travel. So, if you're going to travel for longer than that 60-day period, you'll be exposed. If you don't get other coverage, you will be exposed. There's a risk there. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, this is for emergency care. This is not for routine care. For example, this would not cover dialysis, just emergency care. Now, let's say you're not enrolled in Original Medicare with a Medigap plan, and instead, you're enrolled in Medicare Advantage. Most Medicare Advantage plans will provide some type of coverage, medical coverage for foreign travel. But that coverage will vary, and you have to check with your plan, with your provider, with your insurer, to check to see exactly what your plan covers. Now, one other thing that I'll say, one of the risks out there, even if you do have coverage, these foreign hospitals are not obligated, whether you're on Original Medicare with a Medigap plan or Medicare Advantage, these foreign hospitals are not required to coordinate with Medicare. They're not. So you may get a bill and have to pay that bill to get the treatment. And then even if it's a covered service, you'd have to come back, submit those receipts for reimbursement either to Medicare or to the Medigap plan or to the Medicare Advantage plan, and submit those receipts for reimbursement. So even though it's covered, there's still a risk in that you'd have to pay up front and then seek reimbursement. Could be a headache. So what do you do? What do you do if you're traveling internationally and you want to be protected? Well, I submit that you should just assume that Medicare is not going to pay. Assume the Medicare is not, you're not going to have that coverage. You need to purchase travel medical insurance. When you're thinking about the entire cost of the trip, that travel medical insurance is absolutely worth it. And there are tons of vendors out there. You have to protect yourself. So the question is, does Medicare pay for a stay in a foreign hospital or medical expenses if I'm traveling internationally? Well, could not, depends on what plan you have. But no matter what, you should absolutely consider getting travel medical insurance to make sure that you're protected against catastrophic financial risk. And I keep saying that because that is what we're trying to protect against here. I am a risk manager. We're trying to reduce the risk that you have to pull resources that were designed for your retirement living, excluding medical, to pay for these medical expenses that you weren't expecting. And now you're stuck, right? Now you're staring at a much, much different retirement. We don't want that. I don't want that for you. So please consider and look seriously, think through obtaining travel, medical insurance. It's affordable, it's worth it. And once again, said in every video, you only have one chance at a successful retirement.
I got it. That makes sense, Dad.